Hello, girlfriends. We are here with Caterina Rando. I am so thrilled. She is known for a word that I just absolutely love, the word bliss. There's bliss around everything that you do, and you have such a great energy. And I think you might be muted, so you might need to hit the unmute button. Oh, okay, I think we're good now. So, welcome to the Being Brave Tour.
Thank you, Karen. I'm so happy to be with you. Bing, bing.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about resilience. But before we get started, I'm going to just read your bio so the ladies know a little bit about you. So, Caterina Rando is a transformational business mentor, author, podcaster, and retreat leader on a mission to uplift women everywhere through thriving entrepreneurship. With over 30 years of experience educating and empowering women in business, Caterina brings unmatched warmth, wisdom, and a real world strategies to help purpose driven women scale with ease and bliss. I love that.
Right.
Yes, and I've had the opportunity to be at one of your workshops, and the energy and the encouragement, empowerment that you bring to women is just outstanding. You are just a force to be reckoned with, if you will. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit. We're going to talk about you brought up the subject of okay, now I just lost the whole thought.
We're talking about resilience. Yeah, resilience. And, I want to share something, a point of interest for the women. So, one of the things I like to do is I just started investing in the stock market, and I had this woman come and talk to my group about a fund that is all women CEOs.
Oh.
And she was talking about research that has been done about women that run companies. And you know what the one thing is? The one quality, by the way, women's run companies perform better than male run companies.
Yay.
And the reason the research shows, Karen, is because of this topic we're talking about today.
Oh,
because women have more experience with resilience, or they are better at resilience. I don't know, but it's because of the resilience. Life offers a lot of ups and downs. All of our lives offer a lot of ups and downs, and it's our ability to bounce back from setback that can really make or break us as people and really make us even better. And that's why I like to talk about resilience, because we all get knocked down. Yeah. But you know what? We want to learn how to get back up better than where we were before.
Yeah, there's so many instances. Okay, ladies out there listening, think of a time where maybe you had to be resilient, and what's coming up for you. So, Caterina, what comes up for you when you hear that topic of resilience?
It's interesting because I've been talking about resilience. My first time I ever contributed to a book many years ago, it's probably been almost 30 years now, Karen. It was on this topic, how to bounce back from setback. Oh, wow. And of course, life, there's this phrase, you teach what you want to learn. Well, I don't like that phrase. I like to say we teach what we seek to master. Oh, and so in the process of mastering or getting better at resilience, life definitely threw a few lessons my way, or opportunities, right, to be more resilient. And the thing that I cite, probably the biggest setback I had, was when I was married, and it came out during my marriage that my husband had depleted my stock account and my retirement account, and run up the credit cards and run up my line of credit, and really a mountain of debt, not to mention assets were gone, but a mountain of debt was in front of me. And as a business owner, that also put my business in jeopardy. Okay. And so it was time to really prove to myself that I could be determined and I could turn things around. And I did. It took a while, but I did. And my point is that the learning of, oh my gosh, I'm a determined woman, that learning was very powerful.
Yeah. So was there a moment where you kind of either had an aha or there was like some kind of turning point where you had to make that decision? I mean, obviously, just knowing that you.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of opportunities for me to give up, and I chose not to. I got on a cruise ship with 26 gals and found out that a couple of the cabins hadn't been paid for because my husband was in charge of that at the time. And in the moment, figuring it out, not wanting to send anybody home, of course.
Yeah.
And then realizing we didn't have any meeting rooms, and because that hadn't been figured out either. And then being on the ship and being told 5 times no, and figuring out how I was going to get a yes and making it happen. So I was like, wow, Caterina, I impressed myself. I watched myself amaze myself. And that is beautiful. It's wonderful for women. And, I was at a conference recently and they said, what would you change? And about your life. And I thought, I wouldn't change it because it proved to me that I'm determined. It proved to me I can make things happen. It proved to me that I could count on myself. And that's one of the things that I want women to hopefully feel about themselves, that, you know what, I can count on me. And a lot of times you don't know that until you have to count on yourself, right?
Right.
And that's the beauty of being willing to be uncomfortable, to figure things out, and being determined. And then when okay, I'm determined, then you can make happen what you want to have happen in your life.
Yeah.
And that's what I want for women. I want them to know that they could count on themselves to make happen what they want to have happen in their life.
Yeah. So as you're walking through the story too, you're, it's a tough go. You're in this spot. You've got all these responsibilities. You're walking forward and realizing that, hey, yeah, you know what? I do have something here. So what would you say to those women that maybe don't have that really tough situation, but yet, to kind of empower them to know that, hey, you know what, you do have what it takes to depend on you. Because I think there's a lot of ladies, even out in business too, that, we sometimes, maybe we've been in situations where we rely on somebody else and we're relying on somebody else to tell us how to do it or what the path is or whatever. What would you say to those ladies?
Well, let me say that there's nothing wrong with getting some support, asking for what you want, asking for some advice. There's nothing wrong with having a mentor or taking a class or something, because, we don't know what we don't know everywhere in life. We don't know what we don't know. What is essential though, is to not stop at the first obstacle or the second obstacle or the third obstacle. And what I say, Karen, is, life gives you challenges du jour. You think of a day, there's some big or little challenge. Hopefully you can get through some days with no challenges du jour, but mostly there's something. And how are you going to be when you have challenges? Are you going to let it stop you, or are you going to keep going? And what makes us know that we can count on ourselves is when we accomplish something. Accomplishment builds confidence. And that could be an accomplishment, like you're going to go to the gym. You make a promise to yourself, you're going to go to the gym Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. and you actually do it. Bing, bing. You're proving to yourself that you can count on yourself. Or it's a bigger thing. You're going to get a new job, or you're going to buy a house, or you're going to start a business, and then not giving up at the first challenge, because, as I said, there's going to be a lot of challenges.
Yes, there are going to be. So one of the biggest challenges, and so tell us what came up for you too, are those emotional challenges. It's one thing to tap into your resilience, but it's like sometimes you have to overcome like that doubt
Right.
or the abandonment or the rejection or,
Right. Or the anger or the resentment or the betrayal. Yeah.
yes, we have a whole list of them, don't we?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, I mean, I'm believe me, I'm a big believer in having emotional support in our life. And that could be anything from a counseling or a therapy professional to a great girlfriend that you can be yourself with and listen, she's a good sounding board for you. I mean, that's great too. Or it could be a group. And, I'm a big believer, Karen, and I know you are too, in the power of women's communities.
Yeah.
Not only so we feel seen, heard, welcomed, valued, included, we feel gotten, but we can also encourage each other and support each other and uplift each other and really fill each other's cups. I just came from a few days in Colorado. I think we were supposed to be there for business, but it was really mostly like hanging out, being together. We went to the Downton Abbey movie. We had a sticker party. What else did we do? We went to eat. We had a good time together. And I think we might have talked business for 5 minutes, but it was mostly, just being together in sisterhood and community and supporting each other. And I hope that all women on the planet have that in their life. And I also want to address, Karen, because I know you have not spoken about this, and I think that there's still this attitude, especially in women of a certain generation, that we're not here to support each other. Like they remember back in the, I guess, 50s or 60s when there was only one token woman somewhere, and they would fight for it. And there's no competition. If you're living a good life, there's no competition with other women. It's all about connection and collaboration and really celebrating each other and supporting each other. And I hope that the women listening, that's what they have in their life. And if they have women in their life that they feel don't want them to win, then, you don't need those people in your life. That you want to have women in your life that when you're with them and then you leave, you feel more uplifted than when you showed up. And if you don't feel more uplifted, then get some new friends, get a new circle.
Yeah, that is so important. I think as I had stepped into becoming a business owner, I surrounded with myself with people like you that believe in you even more so than you can believe in yourself that way.
Yes.
And I love that. I am so appreciative of that. And I continue to surround myself with those ladies who are just steps ahead of me, or maybe they're way far ahead of me, but that they can kind of see those gifts in me and they encourage me. And I just love that. That's it's beyond collaboration. It's just this really amazing. I call them all my wise friends.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, and just to be able to gain and glean from each other, and I think that's even when I came to your workshop and we had our fun little super shiro masks on. That's what that feeling is like. And when we had a cape on that you gave to all of us, it made us feel a little bit special. Like I can be a superhero. You still got the problems, like you said, that so much of business is not the business piece, it's the life piece that's on the outside there that we have to deal with, that as women coming together and talking about those things.
And the power of women to uplift each other is huge. And I think men maybe have more of an attitude of doing it on their own, and maybe that's some of what we've picked up too. And we really don't have to. That it's way more fun when we get to live our lives together with other amazing gals that have the same values as us, that we like to be with. And so I encourage women to find a place, a community, a circle of women that uplift them. And if you don't have one, start one, because there'll be a lot of women that will be interested. If you say, hey, I'm putting together a group of gals. We're gonna support each other. Guess what? There'll be a lot of gals that are ready to sign up with you and join.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be business. Even, 5 gals in your living room is fine too. The more sisterhood you have in your life, the more your life is going to be uplifted.
Yeah, isn't that great? Oh my gosh. So what are some of the benefits that you've really out of your story that have just really maybe something unexpected, an unexpected surprise out of the
Well,
coming out of all of this resilience?
Learning about the power of determination and building determination
Oh,
really was a gift that this process gave me. And also what I said, Karen, about knowing that I could count on myself,
yeah.
that's big.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about that determination, the power of determination. What did that look like for you?
Well, determination is, not stopping when you want to stop, because there is a goal or a desire that is bigger than your desire to stop. And in my case, it was really focusing on sales and filling my program so that I could pay all my bills and eliminate the debt as fast as possible, because I didn't want that hanging over me in my life. And so that meant talking to more people than I was tired, but I kept going, or being a yes for opportunities, even when I wasn't sure, because maybe it will work. And I'm not saying that I want women to work too hard and push themselves past where they, that what's healthy. But the thing is that that's not usually why we're stopping. We're stopping because we're not sure of ourselves. We're stopping because we don't have it figured out yet. And I think that we have to have it all figured out before we act. Well, we don't. We can act, as we go. And in fact, this whole idea of, I have to get everything ready. I mean, really, it's in the doing that we figure things out. If you haven't done a retreat before and you want to do a retreat, you'll learn a lot about how to do a retreat, or whatever it is. And a lot of women are spending too much time getting ready to get ready. And it's more the action that is really the answer to what I like. I like to say action is the answer to whatever ails you, Karen, because whatever it is, if you need more community, take some action. If you need more revenue, take some action. If you want to slim down, take some action. I mean, it's not sitting around figuring it out.
Yeah. I love that. I tend to jump in myself with 2 feet and then figure it out afterwards.
Yeah, that's good. That's what a lot of high achieving women do. That's good.
A lot of learning. There's a lot of learning. And oh my goodness, I love how you said that. Oh, just to take some action. So that's our next step, girls. We can take that brave action together. So what would you tell a woman? Maybe she's kind of feeling stuck, and to take that action, what might be an action for her?
Yeah. There's this book that you're making me think of. It's called The Year of Yes, I think, by Chandra Rhimes.
Okay.
I encourage you to read it, and just talks about how she took a year and she said yes as much as I guess she could.
Yeah.
And a yes is a good yes starts things, no stops things. And so if somebody says you want to come to this event, well, if you say no, it's over. If you say yes, more possibilities and more excitement and more opportunities and more people can come out of that. And so saying yes is one thing people can do. And to say yes, because here's the thing. For example, let's take that example of, hey, do you want to go to this thing? What's the worst thing that can happen? You go, you waste a couple hours, you're not happy. Like my assistant went speed dating last week. She said it was terrible, speed dating. Okay, well, now she knows it was terrible. She's not going to go again.
Right.
It's what's the most it can cost you is a little time. But often we say no because we think something's not right. But you know what? Something could lead to something else. Something could be a great opportunity. You don't know if you're a no, if it just stops. And so I would say yes more in your life. That is something that will absolutely get you unstuck. The other thing is do what we were talking about earlier. Get the ladies together. When you get ladies together, amazing things happen. You know, I mean, I think it's a superpower, Karen, getting women together, because when you get women together, relationships are formed, connections are made, opportunities come out of it, support happens. It's amazing.
And brainstorming.
Yes.
Your friends are great at brainstorming,
Yes.
and you put an idea out there and they've got 12,000 other ideas to go with.
Exactly. Exactly. You're absolutely
You're
right.
working on how you should get it done.
Right. And so I encourage women to have that as standard operating procedure in their life, that they always have time every month with some other great women.
Oh, isn't that great? I love it. And you know what? This is the Being Brave podcast, or our Brave Tour. You know what, girls? It takes a little bravery to say yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it takes us out of our comfort zone.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And so acknowledge that you're being brave. It's like, dang, I'm brave. I'm going to go say yes to something that I haven't said yes to before, because there might be a possibility of a new opportunity.
Right. And, you know, that's another thing that requires bravery is setting a goal and making a plan if it's something uncomfortable for you. And what we also know is that everything that is new and exciting in our life is on the other side of uncomfortableness. There will be some uncomfortableness.
Oh my goodness. Yes. And then that's where we grow too. And all those good things. Oh, it's not easy. Though,
and we flourish. And then we also amaze ourselves. Karen, as I was saying, you know, watch yourself amaze yourself. That's exciting when you do something that you haven't done before, when you go somewhere you haven't done before, where you reach out to somebody to connect with. You know, what I'm thinking of is I was on a cruise with my family in earlier this year. My dad, my sister's boyfriend, we went on a family cruise, and I lead retreats on cruise ships. So when I've been on cruise ships in the past, I always ask them to interview me on their morning show. Like, you know, it's like the TV on the cruise for talking about what's happening on the cruise. And usually, because I have a group, you know, the cruise ship knows that here's Caterina with a group. But this was a family trip, so nobody knew, you know, that I do retreats on ships. So I said to myself, you know what? I would like to be on that show that I have been on before, but nobody on the ship knew. I had to ask. I had to find the person. I had to call. I had to circle back. I had to follow up. And then I thought to myself, and then of course, I shouldn't say of course, but nobody contacted me. So then I had to ask myself again, okay, well, what else can I do? And then I thought, where is the decision maker right now? I said, okay, the tour director, she's leading a group. I'm going to go to where she's leading the group, and I'm going to wait until she's done, and I'm going to go talk to her, right? And then when she was leading the group, I made sure that I asked a question so she knew who I was even before I went up there. So all of this is an example of, you not only have to be determined, you have to be determined through it not happening right away. And you have to be determined through not getting the response you want. And you have to be determined through not having it happen the first time. And all of that is us proving to ourselves that we can make things happen even when it takes a little bit longer. And in this case, I did get on the show, which made me really happy.
Oh, wow. You're lighting a little fire in me right now. It's like, I determined there's a couple things that, you know, it's just so easy to go, oh, well, that didn't work. Or, you know, that's just not, I don't know who to talk to or whatever. But if you are thinking of it differently, going, this has got to happen.
Right.
And find the way to get there.
Right. And I'm going to make it happen. And I'm not just going to sit back and wait and hope. I'm going to say, what else can I do? What else can I do? And that's what we have to say to ourselves. What else can I do? What else can I do?
Okay.
It's the questions that we ask make a difference.
Yes. And I have to say, I'm going to give you a little shout out because
Okay.
you inspired me to say yes to something.
Oh, really? How exciting. Tell me.
Yes, because I went to your workshop and you talked about speaking, going out and speaking. And I thought, well, I had this tour, I'm out on a stage or whatever. I met a gal from another community
Uh-huh.
and we chatted, and she said she was hosting a summit. And
Okay.
I said, do you need a speaker?
Great. Yay.
And I took the Being Brave tour to the Menopause Fair, Las Vegas, with Jessica
Yes.
and Sherry Little. And
Yes.
I had to travel there. And I didn't have a sponsor at that moment.
Okay.
And the next week I got a sponsor.
Yay.
I went there and met some beautiful women. I said yes to something. It was the first time I've taken it in person into another community.
Uh-huh.
But you were one of the inspiration to say yes versus say, oh, well, I'm not sure if I could do that. I just blurted it out. I said, hey, if would it fit to your program? Yeah. So thank you for that, because I had just come out of your workshop on speaking, and
Well, Karen, you make me so happy. And that's the thing. When you ask, then an opportunity is a possibility. When we don't ask, nothing happens. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think too, what it did for me, it opened my mind is, where else could I speak or be a part of something?
Yes. Yes. And there's a lifetime supply of answers to that question, because there's a lot of stuff going on every day, live and in person and virtual. And the possibilities are endless, really. But the thing is that nobody can give you what they want. Nobody can give you what you want if we don't let them know what we want. So if we don't tell people, I want to speak, I want to be on your show, I want to be on your podcast, I'd like for you to be my client, would you like to talk about it? If we don't ask for what we want, nobody knows what we want. We're not a world of mind readers, right? It's our job to ask.
Yes. And so we also have to be clear what it is we want.
Yes. Yes. And we have to make a specific request.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So Caterina, what is it you would like? What would you like? What would you like? And what would you like the ladies to know?
I'm looking for a new boyfriend. Okay. That's number one. And also I would like to have any women that want to use speaking to grow their business to reach out to me, because that's what I do. I help women use speaking to grow their fempires. I also work with women that like to scale their business, that want their business to get bigger. And we do that not only through speaking, but authentic selling. I teach authentic selling for women, and I'm looking for more women to serve with that. And then, the really fun thing I do is I host retreats for women. Yeah. And we have a mastermind cruise next August, which will be a bunch of women together on a ship, connecting and collaborating and blissing together and doing business and having fun. And if you have not been on a women's retreat or a women mastermind cruise adventure, you definitely want to do it. It will uplift and enhance your life. And those are more women I'd like to meet that would like to connect with an amazing community of women.
Yeah. Ladies, say yes.
Yes, say yes. There we go, right? Say yes.
Oh, this is such a great conversation. Resilience, saying yes, so many golden nuggets. So what would you like to leave the ladies with? What kind of inspiration?
Thank you. So based on what we just talked about, I want you to think about what is a request that you could make in your own life. Yeah. Again, people can't read your mind. Ask for what you want, and to make it a habit, or I call it a daily practice of every day, ask for one thing that makes you uncomfortable. And again, that could be, asking someone to be your client, as Karen asking someone to be your sponsor, asking someone if you could speak at their event. These are all things that would maybe make you a little bit uncomfortable, and
Yes.
do it anyway, and watch what happens when you ask for what you want. And then, of course, be a yes wherever you can, and new places that make you uncomfortable. Be a yes.
Yes. And ladies, come put a comment and let us know where you have maybe stepped out and were uncomfortable, or you said yes, so we can celebrate you. So we can go, yes, you were brave. You did it. Oh my goodness, Caterina, what a lovely conversation. So many things to bring up with women, encourage them and believe in them. And thank you for being a part of the conversation.
My privilege. Thanks, Karen.
All right, ladies, we will see you next time. Go out and be brave.